Hi there, hello. All ready? Let's go aboard Billy's Showboat. All aboard Billy's Showboat for fun, facts, and stories about the seas and the St. Lawrence Seaway.
Billy's Showboat is produced by your Milwaukee Public Library. Now here is your captain, Billy the Bookworm.
Welcome aboard, everybody. Ahoy there, Miss Alice, and boys and girls from the Llewellyn Neighborhood Library.
Well, Captain Billy, how are you this morning?
I'm just fine.
And you think these boys and girls are from the Llewellyn Neighborhood Library, but they're really not.
No?
At least not exactly, because you see they're all dressed up in costume and all prepared to represent 4 different countries which would like to send and export materials to Milwaukee by the St. Lawrence Seaway,
Well,
of course.
Could we meet them?
Why, you certainly can, Billy. They are...
I'm Loretta Gess from Sacred Heart School, and I represent France. My name is Janice Westrick, and I'm from Sacred Heart School, and I represent England.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
My name is Richard Zolecki. I'm from Immaculate Conception School, and I represent Norway.
Well, welcome to you, too.
My name is Michael Grbich. I come from Sacred Heart School, and I represent Spain.
Oh.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, that's going to be lots of fun. We have a Norwegian sweater on our crew member, Dick. And, Mike, didn't you tell me that you brought a bull along you were going to fight for us on the program today?
Yes, but it wouldn't fit in the door.
Oh, isn't that a shame? Well, it would have been fun, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
And I should say.
Well, each of these countries ship stuff to us, don't
Oh, they certainly do. Lots of cargo, and now we're so happy to have the Seaway because they can send their things right through on the water.
And they ship them to us, and then they sell them to people in the city of Milwaukee.
That's right here in Milwaukee.
Miss Alice,
Yes, Billy?
look!
Oh, look who's coming on board Billy's Showboat. Mayor.
It's Mayor Zeidler.
That's right, Billy. Well, isn't this a wonderful occasion?
Well,
Good morning, Mayor Zeidler. We're very happy to have you.
Why,
Welcome aboard, Mayor.
Hey, how are you today?
Oh, fine, thank you. Gee, it's so exciting to have you aboard Billy's Showboat.
Well,
Well,
I'm excited to be aboard the Showboat, too.
Are you all prepared to make some trade agreements with our representatives from these 4 countries?
Yes, I just noticed here you have people representing the different countries. This, I presume, is France. And
Perhaps you'd like to meet our
England.
guest, Mr. Zeidler.
Yes.
Loretta, you want to come up and introduce yourself to the mayor?
I'm from France, and I'm Loretta Gess.
What do you do, Loretta?
I'm from England, and I'm Janice Westrick.
Janice is from England.
I'm from Norway, and I'm Richard Zolecki.
Richard, you're from Norway.
I'm from Spain, and I'm Michael Grbich.
Michael, welcome. These are some interesting countries.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And they're all hoping, they're very well prepared, you see, in what these countries have to offer Milwaukee that they can ship over the Seaway, and they're hoping that Milwaukee has something that can be offered to these countries in the way of a trade.
You know, we've already had some trades. I've had a letter from the mayor of Barcelona extending greetings to me.
Well, isn't that
and,
exciting,
the
Mike?
mayor from Marseille sending me a greeting.
Oh.
I don't believe I've gotten any specific welcomes from England or from France at the present time, other than this mayor from the Southern Court. But I certainly welcome those letters.
I
Well,
bet.
certainly, and maybe we can kind of hurry the others along a little bit by our talk today. Well, why don't we start, Loretta, with you? She's representing France, and maybe you can pretend that you're representing France really, and you'd like to sell Milwaukee some of your goods.
France exports clothing, lace, and wines and perfumes. And here we have some snails, and the meat is in the cans, and then you cook the meat, and then you put the meat in the shells.
You know, Loretta, once in my life I ate a French snail. Only once and only one.
Did you like it?
It was tasty, but I don't know whether I want a steady diet of it.
All right. Looks pretty, though.
Yes, it surely does.
And here we have peeled asparagus.
Peeled asparagus. Now, that's just wonderful, and that comes from Paris. Isn't that fine? Look at that, Alice. Isn't that
Oh, that's
very
a lovely
tasty?
label on it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And here from a neighboring country we have West Germany, and we have puppets.
Toys?
And toys.
Puppets and toys from West Germany. Billy, I'm afraid you got some competition.
Oh, that. Well, isn't he a cute little fella? And over here on the table next to Miss Alice, there's some Hasensuffer and there's
there
some potato pancakes.
Well, there ought
Oh,
to be a
for
big
dumplings.
market for that in Milwaukee.
I bet we can
That's
do them
right,
just as
you're
well
there.
as they can.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
All right. Well, Loretta, did you have anything else you wanted to say to Mayor Zeidler?
What does Milwaukee have to offer France?
Well, Milwaukee can send a lot of things to France. You know, the principal need of these foreign countries is food. They're so heavily populated in Western Europe that they need a great food supply. As a matter of fact, the population of Western Europe was pretty well nourished for 3 centuries since Columbus discovered America by the food that was grown in America. And so one of the principal cargoes that they will have to get is grain. And some of that grain we expect will be shipped out of Milwaukee, although not much of it is now. We also ship out milk products, dried milk, and then eggs, dried eggs, powdered eggs.
That we have a lot of.
And we send some machinery, too. We have many types of machines made, agricultural machines, automobiles, motors of all types, from the great big diesel engines to the smallest outboard motors. This is the sort of thing that we may be able to trade with France.
How does that sound, Loretta? Fine? You know, it is strange, isn't it? Although they need basic foods in these countries, we seem to enjoy importing the delicacies in the way of food right here in the United States. And it sounds good to have some food from another country.
Yes, everybody likes a taste sensation of something that comes from someplace
That's
else.
right. Well, Janice, let's pretend we're off to England, and what have you got to tell Mayor Zeidler?
Well, England exports textiles and farming machinery and various kinds of vehicles. And I have some tea here from England.
Oh, tea.
nice cup of tea.
Ridgeway tea. Oh, that's wonderful. Maybe Milwaukeeans will become tea drinkers
Oh, that's
with
true.
the
We
result
may
of the
have...
seaway.
And some gooseberry jam.
Gooseberry jam.
That's to go on the muffins, English muffins
Oh,
to
yes,
drink with your
uh-huh.
tea.
Isn't that wonderful?
And my a neighbor has some Irish stew, Ireland.
Irish stew from Ireland. Now, this certainly seems to be most inviting. Perhaps the children can sample this sometime.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? I wonder if Schuster's will let us.
And Scotland has some Scotch oats.
Oh, I eat a lot of oatmeal. I shouldn't admit that because children won't like me. But this I think, will be very, very tempting.
That's what they call porridge in Scotland.
That's right, Billy.
That's
Well,
a staple of the Scottish diet is porridge.
Do they grow a lot of oats in Scotland? I imagine they do.
Well, now,
Pretty canned food.
does England need anything from the United States?
I think Janice...
And from
you were gonna-
Milwaukee?
What do you think, Janice? You think they could
Well-
use something from us?
I think they need food and raw materials and many other manufactured things such as cotton and woolen cloth and yarn and leather goods and things of that sort.
What England will probably get from the central part of the United States is also food in the form of grain. They may take some of our machinery, some of the machinery made here, such as paper mill machinery, great big diesel engines, ore crushers, and so on, are probably as good as those made anywhere in the world. Now, sometimes we're not competitive with the English. Sometimes they can make things cheaper than we can, but they will accept them. And even though they export a lot of cars to us, and they will export more, we are also exporting automobiles to them.
Oh, that's very nice.
Well, that's a
isn't it?
real trade, isn't it?
And
That
Janice,
is.
so you were going to say something about the seaway, too, weren't you, in this?
Yes, England and all the other countries could sell their things cheaper through the seaway. But if there wasn't the seaway, they'd have to dock at New York and then being handled and loaded on trains and then being handled again to get them off the trains in Milwaukee.
That's correct. But you see, that must be a two-way trade, that if they expect to bring things in, we must also expect to be able to pay for them. And this is one of the big problems. We want to ship to England, but we also must learn to buy from them, because if there isn't a two-way trade, the seaway won't be effective. This is one of the big problems we have.
We've got to find things that we can ship, and we've got to buy things, too.
That's right. Well, now let's see if we can go up north a little bit to Norway and see what Dick has to offer you, Mayor.
Well, Norway exports whale oil, fish and fish products, pulp and paper. And here's some trout. And
Trout. Fancy smoked trout. Isn't that wonderful?
And,
Sounds real good.
fish balls.
fish balls. Now, do you children like fish?
Dick was...
I think we could acquire an appetite for it, even though we're 1,000 miles inside.
I think Dick prefers to export it, don't you? All right.
And whaling is the fourth largest industry, and it's beginning to move into the jet age because the oil from sperm whales can be used for jet fuel.
Really?
Oh, that's exciting.
Isn't
Norway
that
should be happy
interesting?
about that.
And I
But you'd
think
have to
Billy
have a
would
lot of whales to fly one jet, wouldn't
No.
you?
I bet you would.
And I bet you Billy would like to be living up in Norway because there's a lot of boats up there.
And I like boats.
Well, that's good, Billy, to hear
We'll
that.
have a few of those Norwegian boats here in Milwaukee now, won't we, Mayor Zeidler?
You know, the Norwegians were the first ones to pioneer the lakes. Before any other ship lines were in here, the Norwegians came in first. They're very courageous people.
Oh,
And part of their business is to haul cargoes for other people. The Norwegian ship lines have been hauling cargoes from England, from France, from Germany, from all the other countries. And so this alone is a part of their business. They have certainly been the most courageous and most foresighted people of all in exploiting the use of the St. Lawrence Seaway and the Great Lakes.
well, they build a lot of boats there. And then, of course, when Billy and I took a trip up the Seaway just a week or two ago, and we saw lots of Norwegian boats coming in, we took some pictures of them. Remember, we showed them the pictures of the Thor 1.
Yeah, that was a...
These Norwegian ships go all over the world. In the wintertime, they go into the Mediterranean Sea. In the Mediterranean Sea, and they carry oranges and fruit from that part of the world up into Europe. And then in the summertime, they come into the Great Lakes. These captains have been all over. They're very interesting people to talk to.
Wonderful.
Well, we'll have to even learn Norwegian now so we can have a better time when they come. Well, are we ready to go back down south now? Way down to Spain.
Well, Spain has to offer some
Let me stand on this side of Billy so he can see too.
Thank you.
some
Sardines.
These are Portugal sardines. Is that a neighbor of Spain, isn't it, Mike?
yes.
Oh yes, a product of Portugal. Oh, that's very interesting. I received a letter from the mayor of Lisbon, which is the
capital.
principal port of Portugal. Extended me a greeting.
And here from Italy are some hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, antipasto.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That looks very good.
Comes from Trieste. That's in the Adriatic Sea. Isn't that wonderful? Can you see that, Billy?
Yes,
Doesn't
thank
that
you,
make
Mr.
you
Mayor.
hungry?
All this delicious food is making me hungry.
All right.
And from Turkey, we have some stuffed vine leaves.
Billy likes stuffed vine leaves.
Stuffed vine leaves. Well, I've never heard of that.
Oh,
But
they're-
that's certainly something to
They're
tempt me.
grape leaves, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, are
And
they?
they have a very tart kind of taste, and they're real good. I like them.
Oh, that's a wonderful product.
I imagine they have a lot of grape leaves, too.
Life is going to be
Heck,
very exciting for people who like to eat in Milwaukee.
That's true. All right. Well, what else do we would be interested in Spain?
Well, we have wines, grapes, other fruits, olives, which go to tremendous sizes,
Yes, we've seen them, I think.
and also timber and livestock.
Oh, and what would you like in Spain to trade for all those wonderful things?
Well, from Milwaukee, we'd like cars and motorcycles and outboard motors.
How about that,
Well,
Mr.
of
Mayor?
course, we could supply them those quite easily. As a matter of fact, everybody in Europe wants an automobile, and because they can't get them, they're getting motor scooters. And my friends
that's
who've
it.
been over there, I haven't been there, tell me that the night is broken up by these motor scooters going around all night long. But we make a pretty good brand of motorcycle in Milwaukee that's world famous, and that could be shipped over. And we're the outboard motor center of the world, which is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Well, Spain should be interested
So
in
they could be
Milwaukee, then?
interested. They should receive some of our heavy machinery. You see, Spain is relatively backward. It needs roads, it needs heavy machinery in order to raise the standard of living of people, and we can supply them with that. Of course, some of their food products we could take in here because they produce things that we don't produce in this part of the world. Isn't that interesting?
Well, it certainly is. And Mr. Mayor, we thought perhaps you would be interested in knowing,
Let me get over this side of the building.
all right, how these boys and girls found out all these things about these countries, because you see, they really are just from the Llewellyn Neighborhood Library.
Well, the Llewellyn Neighborhood Library is a window on the world, isn't
Well,
it?
that's right. It certainly is, just like all libraries. And so I think the boys and girls would like to tell you about some of the books that they've read. I think you've read some of them, too, Mr. Mayor, and how they found out about the...
I read two, but one is sort of easy. It's I'm told Anatoly. It's about a mouse in
Anatole.
Anatole?
about a mouse where it had a job in a cheese factory. And
That's why their cheese is so good. They have mice tasting it for them.
and then I was told to try him. He tried to find a house for his family, but he couldn't because they had twins. So they smuggled the twins into the house in the wash basket.
You see, that indicates the very great housing shortage they have in France.
That's right. It's a good way to learn.
If you lived in France, you'd have to walk up to the 4th floor, usually, in order to be able to live there, because everybody has to live racked up. There's so many people, and there isn't enough land space for them.
Something like New York.
No elevators. You walk to the floor, and then you also heat with coal, and you have to carry the coal up to that height.
Oh, my. That's really a hardship.
Well, you don't have to worry about calisthenics courses, I imagine. Well, that's very interesting. What did we read about
Now,
Janice?
What did Janice learn about England?
Well, I've read The Prince and the Pauper. The prince, and he was walking down the road one time, and he found that the pauper looked exactly like him. And so they decided to change places. And you can imagine the confusion there was because they, the pauper didn't know much about ruling a country.
Oh, that would be very interesting. I remember reading that book when I was about your age, too, and it was a very fascinating book. What other books did you read about England?
And then there's bedposts and doorknobs, bedposts and broomsticks, and it's about these 3 London children. They came back to this town that they lived, and they found that this teacher that they had was learning how to be a witch in 10 easy lessons. And to keep the children...
This is modern.
Yes, it is.
And to keep the children from not telling on her, she enchanted their bedposts so that if you turned it one way, they'd go into the future, and if you turned it another way, they went into the past.
Oh, a very interesting story, but you see, that's kind of modern.
Oh, yes, it certainly is.
Yes, that wasn't written in my time.
And all the modern boys and girls love that story, too.
You know, Janice, it's very interesting, but many of our greatest ideas and our greatest literature comes from the English. The Shakespearean works, the writers of poetry, largely have been English. It's only in recent years that the Americans have developed writers of equal ability in their own field. And so much of the fairy tale and folklore history that you know comes originally from the English people, and, of course, the Welsh and the Scotch and the Irish, all who formed the British Islands.
And so I'm sure this is just Janice's beginning.
Maybe, Janice, you'll write a book someday, and they'll read about your book about Milwaukee.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Well, let's find out what we know about Norway.
Well, during the war, Norway had some children who brought all the gold that Norway had on their sleds right through the German lines, and they took the gold to the boats, and then they went back and brought these loads of gold on their sleds right through the German lines. And then there's a book of it's called Song of the Pines, and it tells how a Norwegian boy invents a device for logging, and that is it's still used today.
The Norwegians are a very inventive people. They've had to be because they live in a very inhospitable climate. And they're very courageous and very daring. So that this trait of theirs of being very daring has brought them over the face of the earth. They've conquered both poles, and as you see now, they're pioneering in the Great Lakes. And in the recent occupation of their country by a foreign power, they demonstrated a great deal of courage. They're a very admirable people.
And some of their hero stories show that. Maybe Dick would like to read about Grettir the Strong and some of those stories where you can see that the country wasn't too easy on the people, but they always had heroes to help them along their way whenever things got too hard for them.
Well, those long trips that they made in the open boats, those were tremendous. The Vikings and so forth.
That's right. That's some nice stories about them. Well, now we'll travel again to Spain, and what did we read to find out about Spain?
Well, I have 2 books here.
All right, you want to bring them over?
Bring them right over here and show them.
He brought his books.
That's right.
The name of one is Luis of Spain. It's a family story of Spain, of Luis, his brothers, and his sister.
That has photographs
Oh, and it has
taken right in
photographs
Spain.
in there. He tells this is a real-life story.
That's right.
And there you can see in these pictures how barren much of Spain is. Spain is very hot and dry, and it oftentimes doesn't have enough water. And that's where you can see in this particular picture. It's full of stones. What is the other one, Michael?
The other is Getting to Know Spain, and it tells of the customs, foods, and houses of the Spanish.
Oh, that's if you're going to travel there. This is a travel guide. Isn't that a nice book? Just imagine, you can get that in the Milwaukee Public Library. Not in the main library, but in the Welland Branch Library.
Oh, you can get it in the main library, too.
Can you?
Mr. Mayor, yes, you can.
Good.
All right. Did you read any other stories about Spain?
Yes, Ferdinand the Bull.
Oh, my.
Oh, yes, he was very famous one time. He's sort of disappearing out of sight now.
No, we still read about him. That was written by an American, though. I think
Yes.
one that must have enjoyed Spain. Well, that's very wonderful. And I even brought along a book that I read about
What you bring, Miss Alice?
cargoes. Well, we make tractors in Milwaukee and send them different places.
We sure do.
We have this book about the tractor that went to Israel, which is a rather new country, and it's a little story for younger children on how the tractor helped build this country.
You know, Mrs. Krahn, or Alice, may I call you Alice?
Surely.
You see, this book illustrates what is happening to the people of the world from the people of the city of Milwaukee. The men that you see going to work in the morning in Milwaukee are making machinery. And that machinery is being used in these other countries, and it's changing their way of life. What happens, for instance, when one of our big cement mills, which is made in one of the Milwaukee factories, is shipped to another country? That cement is used to make houses and roads, and it changes their way of life. Or what happens when we send a tractor to one of their farms? It increases their production of food. Or when we send our electrical equipment and brings electrical lights and all of the different things that can be brought to people. You see that that's changing the way of their life. We have a very big impact on those people we who live in Milwaukee.
One thing, too, that always interests me is that perhaps the Seaway is going to change the other cargoes that come to Milwaukee, and maybe even in the way of people. Are we going to have different peoples maybe migrating to Milwaukee now that it's easier to get here?
Well, we will have different types of people come into Milwaukee. Certainly the seamen that come into the ports are going to be inspired by what they see here. We hope for the better. Some of them may want to come and live here. Of course, this is not a port of immigration as yet, but eventually some of the people may find their way here, and our observance of them will certainly change our customs too. We will learn from them as they learn from us. One of the most interesting things I'd like to tell the boys and girls who are represented here is that those people that I've met on the various ships all speak English. Some of them speak 7 languages so that they can get around the world. And this is one of the things that we ought to start learning to do. From the very earliest ages now, we ought to be acquiring some of the languages of these countries so that we can understand them.
Oh, that's very true.
That means you'll have to work a little harder in school, but I suppose you can do that.
Oh, sure. Well, Billy and I went down to the port one day, and we saw a ship in from Germany, and it was lots of fun to see the sailors playing soccer out on Jones Island.
Were they playing soccer?
And I'm sure that they knew English because as they played, they talked in German, but every once in a while, one of the sailors would say, "Take it easy." And we were sorry that we didn't know German, weren't we, Billy? So we should talk to them more.
Miss Mayor, how else will Milwaukee be changed, do you think, by the port opening up?
Well, it'll be changed in many ways. They're so subtle now that it's going to be hard to tell you. But one of the ways is, of course, the city will grow. It will mean more business. We'll be bringing in a lot of cargoes and shipping out a lot of cargoes, and that means the transportation industry will grow.
Oh, yes.
Another more important way is that we will change culturally. People who live in the central part of the United States are relatively isolated from people in the Western world. People have to travel 1,000 miles from New York to get into inland, and so we don't see as many people from foreign countries. Now we will see more, and their ideas will be brought to us, and our ideas will be brought to them, and just by an exchange of ideas we're going to improve greatly. You'll see people wearing different styles of clothes, even as you see these young people here. Where will the ideas from those clothes come? From some other country.
Well, that's very interesting. Mr. Mayor, we have a Showboat question every week.
And Billy, can we just mention that the products that the boys and girls did have here were donated to us to use by the Schuster Company. And they're right here for sale in Milwaukee.
Well, how nice. What is the Showboat question this week, Miss Alice?
Well, boys and girls at home, we like them to share in our program too, Mayor Zeidler. And so we have a question that we ask them each week, and if they answer it with a very good answer, they're on Billy's Showboat the following week. So our question for today for them is, what cargo would you like to see come to Milwaukee?
What cargo would you like to see come to Milwaukee from the Seaway?
That's right.
Wow.
And if you can think of a good answer, boys and girls, you might be on Billy's quiz next week and win some prizes. But if you think of a good answer, you have to send it in, of course, either to your neighborhood library or to Billy's Showboat, Milwaukee Public Library, 814 West Wisconsin Avenue, Milwaukee 3, Wisconsin.
Oh, that's Billy's Showboat, care of your Milwaukee Public Library, 814 West Wisconsin Avenue, Milwaukee 3, Wisconsin. Who's the honorary captain this week, Miss Alice?
Well, last week we had a question about what is a lock, which was and we have two very interesting descriptions, Mr. Zeidler, and we'd like you to see
What is a lock?
What is a lock in a canal?
A seaway lock.
Where are those
right.
honorary captains?
Well, here they come. They're Leslie and Alicia Springfield.
Oh, hi there.
They're sisters. Hi, girls. You just come right in here. And this is Mayor Zeidler, girls. And I'm sure he's going to be...
Is this Leslie and that Alicia?
That's right.
And they're your honorary captains. Did they answer a question right?
They answered
They answered it very well. They're going to tell you what their answers were, aren't you?
Leslie, would you read your answer?
She knows it by heart.
Oh, good.
My answer for what was a lock was a lock is a box-like container filled with water to help ships go up rivers and lakes that have different water levels.
Oh, isn't that a very good description? And Alicia, what was yours? You had a very interesting one, too.
A lock is a water elevator to help ships go up rivers that are higher than others.
There. An elevator. Don't you think that's a good way of putting it?
Very good.
All right. Well, we like their answers so much that we have prizes for them hidden away here. We have a book for each one of them. Here's one for you, Alicia, and here's one that we hope that you'll like, too, Leslie.
Maybe they have to tell the names of those books.
All right. You want to tell them what they are? You read your name. Can you read it?
Lincoln, a big man.
Lincoln.
Lincoln, a big man.
Prehistoric animals.
Oh, and Leslie has one.
Prehistoric
Well, I
animals.
don't think we'll be getting any prehistoric animals on the boats on the Seaway, but it's still fun to read about them.
We got some the other day, you know, two
Oh, that's
rhinoceros
right.
that came into the zoo.
Why, certainly. That's getting pretty close.
Who expected that cargo to come in?
All right. Well, thank you very much, girls, for being our guests and honorary captains today. We hope you'll come again.
See, Miss Alice,
Yeah.
how about next week?
Oh, well, next week we're going... Oh, Bill,
What?
Next week
What?
is a mystery.
Well, you can tell. Well, of course it's a mystery if you don't tell us what's going to be.
Well, it's a very strange mystery. You see, one of the most unusual mysteries on the Great Lakes was the disappearance of the boat called the Griffin. And nobody has ever found out what happened to the Griffin. This was many years ago. But if you watch Billy's Showboat next week, we're going to tell you what happened to it.
Well, friends.
At least, well, Billy and I may not tell you, but I think the boys and girls from the North Milwaukee Library will.
Well, isn't that interesting? I'm going to be sure to be here to be in on the mystery.
Well, yes, I think the solving of the mystery should be lots of fun. And in the meantime, you might like to read some of the real interesting sea mysteries that you'll find in your library.
Miss Alice?
Yes.
I'd like to thank the mayor very much for being on the Showboat today. I was honored, and I'm sure all the rest of us were, too.
Well, I certainly was very happy to have him come to our Showboat.
It's very good to be with Billy and to see these children who are so informed on different subjects that are going to affect their lives. It's quite a pleasure.
Well, thank you
And
very much, Mr.
I'd like to thank the boys and girls, too. They're the most important part of the program, and we were very glad to have them with us. It was very, very exciting.
All right, and our wonderful crew for today, we thank you, and I'm sure that they, too, are very happy to meet the mayor of Milwaukee and pretend that they are representing countries that might trade with him.
And until next week at this same time, this is Captain Billy the Bookworm.
And Miss Alice, your cruise director, saying
So long. See you all next week on Billy's Showboat.
Goodbye.
Billy's Showboat is produced by your Milwaukee Public Library in cooperation with WMVS TV Channel 10.